Let me make this bigger so you guys can see this.
That chart is showing at that time, a couple months later, 4,812 deaths, 1,736, or 36% of those deaths occurring within the day of injection or within 1 or 2 days. Now, I was raising that issue. I was going on media. I was showing this chart, and I got censored. Radio talk show hosts, when I talked about this, they were deplatformed.
And what is a hot ass mess, right, about this is that this is the FDA and the CDC's own data, and people were getting blocked and censored and getting deplatformed for showing people these numbers. And these were the government's own numbers. So make it make sense.
Causation. I realize it's grossly underreported, but that's a correlation that I thought
it's probably way more.
It's pretty important. Somebody ought to be looking at it. So when
if those are the government's numbers, you know that they're probably quadruple.
I finally had a meeting with Francis Collins, head of NIH, with a group of other senators. I asked him, "Are you watching VAERS?" I gave him those stats. He did admit that 6 deaths were associated with the J&J vaccine, but for the other over a few thousand deaths, he said, "Senator, people die." That was his callous reaction. That was the head of the NIH, completely blowing off the VAERS system that they had touted before.
And people always say to me, Shelley, people die with every vaccine. First of all, this is not a vaccine. That's number one. And two, more people have died off of this experimental product than all of vaccines combined, okay? And why is it still on the market?
Before they got the emergency use authorization. I'll continue. From May 17th to May 21, 2021, CDC officials discussed whether to issue a formal health warning called a Health Alert Network message on myocarditis, noting that, quote, providers aren't reporting these cases to VAERS. They knew they weren't. They knew they existed. They knew they weren't reporting them. A couple days later, during a May 24, 2021 vaccine safety meeting, notes show that FDA and CDC officials asked, quote, is VAERS signaling for myopericarditis now? Question mark. And are told for the age group 16 to 17 years.
VAERS was signal for many things, but I guess myocarditis was maybe one of the more serious ones. But I mean, people had all kinds of Bell's palsy, tremors, you know, paralysis. It was a mess.
In 18 to 24 years, yes,